We have some major breaking news as it's shockingly been announced that Pitbull is ending his partnership with Trackhouse Racing and is leaving Trackhouse Racing. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel and welcome back to the video. As I just said a second ago, we got some pretty massive and major breaking news as it has been announced shockingly that Pitbull is leaving Trackhouse Racing, is no longer an owner of Trackhouse Racing. Here's a statement from Pitbull earlier this morning about 10 minutes ago. He says, ending partnership with Trackhouse Racing. Over the past 5 years, he made history by introducing NASCAR to a whole new audience and falling in love with NASCAR fans at the same time. We have made the decision to terminate the partnership with Trackhouse Racing, effective immediately. We're looking forward to performing on the sport's biggest stage this Sunday, the Daytona 500. It's a true honor, Dale. Of all the things that I expected going into 2025, I did not see this coming. Pitbull has been invested in Trackhouse Racing since the team started up in 2021 when Daniel Suarez would be the first driver behind the wheel of the team. It was announced, I believe, early January of 2021 that Pitbull would become a co-owner of the brand. Pitbull brought a lot of money into the team and also brought a lot of his own sponsors to help Daniel Suarez at the start of 2021. Since the time that Pitbull had been with the team and organization, this team has made a lot of history and has had a lot of success. We have seen Trackhouse win a lot of races. We've seen Daniel Suarez pick up 2 victories, including the 3-wide photo finish coming across the line in Atlanta last year, which was about a year ago since that happened at this point, against Kyle Busch and Ryan Blaney. We've seen Shane Van Gisbergen come in and go full-time with this program now. He won the Chicago Street Course in 2023. Ross Chassain's picked up 5 wins with this organization. Now you've got Connor Zilisch making his Cup debut in a couple weeks at COTA, and you've got Red Bull joining up with the team once again and back in NASCAR for the first time since 2011, sponsoring Shane Van Gisbergen and Connor Zilisch. And Pitbull has been there the long way. And why this is so shocking is because Pitbull has released 2 albums with the Trackhouse name. He's mentioned Daniel Suarez on his albums and a lot of his songs. He's brought Daniel Suarez on tour. So this is absolutely a massive, massive bombshell. And if you're a Daniel Suarez fan, you really have to be concerned that Pitbull is leaving. I think one of the reasons why Daniel Suarez has been with this team for so long at Trackhouse Racing is one, he does bring a little bit of sponsorship and funding. But number 2 is because Daniel Suarez is really good friends with Pitbull. Seeing Pitbull lead the team and no longer being owner of this organization, if you're Daniel Suarez, you really do have to be concerned. Now, one of my best guesses is why Pitbull is leaving is because he's probably not getting a major return on investment. Some of these owners that do come into these teams and organizations, they don't get the best return on investment, and then they see that they're not getting that ROI, and they basically go ahead and jump ship. But after Pitbull's been with this team for 5 years at this point, he's overseen the success of this organization, the growth of this organization, now having 3 full-time entries in 2025, and they've got even a development program with seeing Connor Zilisch move up in the ranks. I would have never thought that Pitbull, of all people, would have left Trackhouse Racing. I go back to that rumor last year that happened during the off weeks. There was a big rumors and speculation that Pitbull was going to leave the team. That just came from Reddit question rights, and people didn't know what was going on with the contract with Daniel Suarez. But now it's actually a reality that Pitbull is officially out of Trackhouse Racing as an owner of the brand, because Pitbull has brought a lot to this sport. He's going to perform at the Daytona 500, and could he still stick around in the sport? My best guess is no. I think Pitbull's going to jump ship away from the sport. And it's been a little bit concerning that he hasn't really talked much about Trackhouse Racing in the last couple months. I didn't see many posts from him on Twitter. I didn't really see any posts around him on Instagram. He's been promoting his tour with Bon Jovi very recently, so that's probably what has been going on at this point. He's been more focused on the music side of things, getting back on tour. Seeing him no longer be a co-owner is absolutely disappointing. But it's been an honor to see someone like Pitbull be part of the sport and promote the sport at times. He hasn't been as much of a promotion guy like Justin Marks has been, and he isn't as hands-on. He's more toward the promotion side of things of the sport, but he's not as hands-on like a Justin Marks is, or other people like Michael Jordan have become hands-on. So this is a massive, massive loss for Trackhouse Racing, and there's a lot of questions around this Trackhouse Racing organization going into 2025. You got to think about the fact that Daniel Suarez is in a contract year with Trackhouse Racing, and Daniel Suarez knows this. He has to step up to the game and perform a lot better in 2025. Otherwise, there's a really good chance and possibility that Daniel Suarez will not be back with Trackhouse Racing in 2026. And my early prediction is he's not going to be back with Trackhouse Racing next year. If Connor Zilisch sets the world on fire and performs at an extremely good level in 2025 in the Xfinity Series, which I think there's a very good chance he will be a massive threat and really big contender this year, I think that Daniel Suarez ends up losing his seat. They've lost Ty Norris in the last couple months. He's going over to work with Colin Racing this year, though they still have really good friendship over there. So my best guess is maybe a fallout happened, and that's a big reason why Pitbull is leaving the team. But this is absolutely shocking. Pitbull's been there since the beginning of this team, starting up in 2021. When this organization came around, there were a lot of questions around it, and Trackhouse has been able to move the needle on a pretty big way. I don't think Trackhouse Racing is going to go away because Pitbull is leaving the team. They've got new ownership over there. They brought Avenue Sports Fund in the last couple of months. You've obviously got Mark Lasby's group over there that's bringing in a ton of money and a ton of sponsorship. They're going to be spending a ton of money to really try to grow that group and make them a lot better. And I think that Trackhouse Racing probably wants to go a different direction right now. They want to go worldwide. They've been making worldwide tour posts on their social media pages, and maybe Pitbull not being there, they can now focus a lot more on trying to make their cars a lot better, because Trackhouse Racing did have an off year 2024. They're not the same team they were in 2022 when Ross Chastain was literally 150 feet from winning the championship in 2022, and then he's been a little bit on the decline in the second half of 23, and then 2024 he got that win and probably should have made the playoffs, but did have inconsistency. And they're going to have a big undertaking with Shane Van Gisbergen going full-time this year. So there's definitely a lot of questions surrounding this organization going into the year. I'm not worried about Trackhouse Racing, at least for the foreseeable future. I know there will be some questions around what's going to happen with the future of this team. But Pitbull getting out of the ownership game and no longer being owner of Trackhouse Racing, like I've already mentioned and said, is absolutely wild. And I think that, again, for Daniel Suarez, there's pretty big questions around his future at this point, and with him being a little bit older at this point and him being a contract year, he is now without question the number one driver on the hot seat, and he really is going to have to step up to the game and perform a lot better in 2025. Otherwise, there's a really good chance and possibility that we are not going to see Daniel Suarez back at Trackhouse, and like I mentioned, I don't think he's going to be back with Trackhouse next year. Just wild news to see this, that Pitbull, who's been with this team for a really, really long time, for 5 years at this point, is no longer working with the team. We all thought he'd stick around for a long time. He did stick around for a few years, but sometimes some of these celebrity owners that come into play, they don't want to stick around long term. So massive, shocking news here to see this, and it's kind of wild to see that Pitbull is no longer going to be an owner of this team and organization. I think Pitbull is going to get out of the sport effective immediately, and to see that Trackhouse has lost Pitbull as an owner is a massive, massive shock, in my honest opinion. So, that is going to be our today's special breaking news on Pitbull. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. List description below that, and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. What are your thoughts on today's shocking news of Pitbull leaving Trackhouse Racing? Let me your thoughts in the comments below. And what is the future of Trackhouse Racing itself? Let me your thoughts in the comments below. Later tonight on the channel, we'll have reactions to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race from Daytona. Tomorrow on the channel, we're going to have reactions to the NASCAR Xfinity race. There might be an ARC review as well, depending on certain drivers that do end up going to victory lane. We might have reactions to Xfinity Series qualifying as well, same with truck qualifying later this afternoon. Then on Sunday, we're going to have the starting lineup video for the Daytona 500, the Cup review for the Daytona 500, and maybe a Shane Van Gisbergen video dropping. We've got content coming on people like Haley Deegan, Shane Van Gisbergen, Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed, Bubba Wallace, the lawsuit with 2311 Front Row Motorsports, Michael Jordan, Connor Zillich, Carson Quaffle, all that good stuff, Chandler Smith, Matt DiBenedetto, Donald Trump, Wendy's, McDonald's, all the good stuff will be coming on the channel really soon, along with Christian Eckes, Nick Sanchez, all the good stuff will be coming on the channel really soon in the coming days and weeks. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.